notacon.
Coming out okay? All right. Okay. Well, my name's Jerry C. Rockwell, and I'm a longtime musician and kind of a part-time web developer. That's kind of why I got into this whole technology conference thing. And I just thought I'd give you some, just kind of hope this will be a kind of an entertaining sort of romp through my composing process and improvising process, and just so you can get an idea just how some of the process works for a composer, improviser, you know, whatever you want to call some of us musicians who just sort of make it up on the spur of the moment. I've had my training at Ohio State University School of Music, Department of Jazz Studies. I was a jazz guitar major back in, well, I graduated in the winter quarter of '89, and great experience, but still at the core, pretty much a folk musician. I've built these dulcimers. This is one I built and been doing it for about 35 years or more, something like that. And a lot of the experiments I'm doing now in my home studio, some of which I'll play for you here. I have a little thing I'm going to be playing along with. They're basically at this point electroacoustic instruments, because I strap a magnetic pickup over the dulcimer, and that gives me access to a whole bunch of signal processing and a whole bunch of things. I wasn't able to really make that work out very well for this particular demo, but the sound of the acoustic instrument is great, and I'm also going to be using some acoustic guitar. On the CD, you'll hear some experiments in my studio where I've actually done some electric recording and whatnot. So I hope this will be kind of entertaining. You know, and I'll try to leave some time at the end, and I can fill you in on more of the specs of my studio, or how I go about making my tracks. And I just want to say, in the beginning, it's just one of the wonderful things about being a musician these days is that if you've got a little home studio, you know, like I do, I record on an old Mac. You know, every day is a chance to make another kind of CD of ongoing process work. So music, for me, is very much a process. And I've got now, since I've been up and running with my current studio for about, probably 6 months, something like that, I can see day by day, week by week progress for what I'm doing, you know, so I can really see music as a process. And I as I say, I hope I can give you some insights into that. Most of the stuff I'm going to be doing, a lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing and playing around, is what I consider really groove-oriented music, where I take a very simple structure, like one of the ones I'm doing is Skip to My Lou, you know, the simple folk tune everybody knows, you know, Skip to My Lou, my darling, you know, well-known folk tune, but I just totally transformed it to take it into something, a completely different area, and just to give you an idea of some of the rhythm behind it. all these like kind of little grooves. That was the first one was kind of a 12/8 groove. I'm going to show you on the board there. The first one was a 12/8 groove, and then I went into a more Latin straight eighths groove. And the basis of all this stuff, I better go over to the board here. Let's see now. Okay, great. All right. Basically, what you got here is a reference structure. What I call a reference structure. Basically, you got basically two measures on a D chord, and then two measures on an A7 chord, back to two measures on D. These are just slashes, just basically quarter notes. 4 beats to a measure. Another mat, 2 on D, and then you wind up coming back home. You go. So let me just do that for you on the dulcimer. If I want to do something, if I just want to emphasize, which you'll hear somewhat on the recording too. Just want to emphasize 2 and 4. There's D now, A7, D, bum, D, G, dum, D, dum, bum, bum, D, bum, D, bum, bum. Okay? And that was a straight eighths feel. I'm going to keep this is one of the things you can come away with here is the difference between a 12/8 or a kind of a swing feel and what I just did there, which is straight eighths. The straight eighths is basically you have every beat is divided into 2 equal points. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's very binary. The beat is, you know. And then the 12/8, which is actually what I'm going to start off with on the recording, is just each of those beats is divided into 3. So basically you got da 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 ba da da ba da da ba da da. A little faster. Little syncopation in there. Beat it up, dum ba dee dum, dee ba da ba dee da ba la bum, dee ba da ba dee dee bum, dee ba da ba ga dee bum. Syncopations add a lot, especially in swing. Dee ba dee da ba dee bum, doo la doo doo gum dee bum dee gum dee doo da ba dee da. You can make with syncopations. Syncopations basically just bringing in a beat like a half beat early is all it is. I won't go into too much detail, but let me get the tape going. And what I generally do on a lot of my multi-tracking is that I'm a very avid guitar player as well as dulcimer player. What I like to do is play either electric or acoustic guitar. Again, if we had the electric working right with some of the technical details, I'd probably be playing that. But the acoustic will work in a pinch. And let's see how we're doing here. Okay. These are synth tracks that I just basically, I call this an enlightened click track. And that's the title of my brand new blog I started about a week ago. So. So that's basically what I did there. But one of the main focuses I want to put out here is that I'm trying to move from the identifiable melody you all know, like dum bum dum bum, to someplace else. I don't know where else exactly, but you can take any melody and you can sort of kind of extend it on either end, make it go up a little higher than the highest point or a little lower than the lowest point. Like you know, here's you got you. So I can go.